What's up everybody, and welcome in Korea for round 16 of the championship. I'm about to make my way to the grid for the start of a fully dry race. As I qualified on the option tires, I was hoping to get pole position here, but So Solid was just able to beat my time, and that puts me behind him for the start of this Grand Prix. This is one of my favorite tracks on the calendar, and I will try to challenge for the victory.
Your target today is second place.
As the lights are coming up, it's lights out. We are on the way. I'm getting a good launch off the line and using some of my curves, but So Solid gets a good start as well, as I'm braking a little early, a little tap from behind him, nothing major though. It seems that we are pretty clean through turns 1 and 2, and on the rundown to the hairpin now. I'm trying to get some slipstream, using the rest of my curves to try maybe a move here, but So Solid seems to lag a bit on my screen there. He's jumping a bit, so I'm taking no risk. I was not really close enough anyway, but I just slot in behind him as we lose connection to Gonna Gamble. And as we are coming up to the start of sector 2 here, this part of the track I like in particular, with these slow corners where you really have to get your lines right to get the optimal run through here. As So Solid is still looking good, and a little gap opening behind me to Greek Don't Lie, who started on the prime tires, so we should have a little advantage over him in the first stint here, as we are coming up to the end of sector 2 here, with a nice run through this left-hander. It's a pretty unique corner, nice and lovely corner, and we are pretty good so far, looking pretty solid behind So Solid, about 8 tenths now, and it seems that he's really quick off the start here of this Grand Prix, and it's my job to stay within that 1 second to get the DRS on him at the start of lap 3, as we have skipped ahead here to the point where the DRS is enabled, but you can see that So Solid is almost 1.3 seconds ahead now, so he did a good job to get out of that 1 second DRS window from me, and I will not get the DRS, but Greek Don't Lie meanwhile has caught up to the back of me, and he will get the DRS on me this lap, so I might have to defend a little bit, but he's still a bit far behind for now, so I can just take the normal racing line through here. But Greek Don't Lie doing a good job so far on his prime tires, and as we skip ahead to lap 6, you can see I'm just running a little bit wide here, and that compromises my exit a little bit. Greek Don't Lie is still right on the back of me, and I take a bit of a defensive line here through this hairpin, and make sure to defend my place. And So Solid is looking really strong. He's almost 3 seconds up the road already, and he just seems to be a little bit quicker at this stage of the race. As we skip ahead to the following lap, Greek Don't Lie is again in the DRS zone, but he outbrakes himself there. He locks up the brakes, as you could see the smoke coming off his tires, and he just goes straight on there for a bit, and that's going to cost him some time, as So Solid is 4 seconds behind, in front of us now, and Greek Don't Lie is about 3 seconds behind us. And for now it's just important to stay consistent as we approach the final end of the stint here, and I'm coming in to change my tires for the first time here at the end of lap 8, and as is the Toro Rosso team changing the tires of So Solid in front of me there, about 5 seconds in front of me. But that mistake by Greek Don't Lie really gave me some breathing space to keep hold of second place there at the end of the stint. So he of course is going to stay out a bit longer on his prime tires, and his first stint will actually be some more laps than we did. So it will be interesting to see where Greek Don't Lie will come out when he makes his first stop. And as you can see, now we are approaching the end of sector 1 here. And just looking at the split times, I've catched up a little bit with So Solid though.
3 seconds is the
I'm not
gap
sure,
between
maybe
the
his
next
stop
car.
was a
3
bit
seconds.
slower, but it's now 3 seconds the gap. With Red Tabor behind me at the moment, 5 seconds. He surely must make his first stop yet. And as we skip ahead to lap 10 here, you can see some of the prime runners still out there. One of them is TNG Platinum. He goes a bit wide at this corner, and I'm really closing in on the back of him now, as his tires must be pretty worn at this stage. He already did about 10 laps on them now, and as you can see, I'm just all over the back of him in this final sector, where it's very narrow and it's difficult to pass, but I'm going around the outside of him here and making it stick. Yes, I can make it stick and clear him out of the way quickly, and that's really crucial to not be stuck behind him there, I felt.
Has a lot of fuel in reserve.
As we have skipped ahead to lap 15, where Greek Don't Lie makes his first stop of the race after 14 laps on the prime tires. He is going to rejoin the track behind us, so I'm back into second place
5 seconds ahead of
and
the car
about
behind.
5 seconds behind So Solid, as we have skipped ahead to lap 18. But something interesting is going to happen now. As I can see on the map, it's the Toro Rosso driver in the pits already. So he did about 10 laps on his second stint there. I'm not sure if it was the options or the primes that he put on for his second stint, but he's again in the pit. So I'm taking the lead of this race at the moment, with Greek Don't Lie about 5 seconds behind me. But as we skip ahead to lap 21, you can see Greek Don't Lie has caught up with me there and brought the gap down to about 1 second now. And as you can see on my tire indicator, my tires are orange. They are coming off a little bit.
He's running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
But although So Solid was looking pretty quick at the start of the race, I just felt that his strategy might cause some problems for him behind the Sauber driver, as his teammate Moss611 retires from the race. But Greek Don't Lie, in my opinion, was just looking a bit quicker, and especially his strategy, as he was keeping up fairly nicely on his prime tires at the first stint. So I was thinking the only way to really beat Greek Don't Lie is to just go with his strategy. So I was staying out here on my second stint to try and change to a 3-stop race, where you can see Greek Don't Lie just got DRS past me on his prime tires, his second stint with the prime tires, and he was clearly going for a 3-stopper here, whereas So Solid is likely to go for the 4-stop race, and I was just switching to a 3-stopper here, as I'm on lap 23 now. I'm just looking to go with 2 more prime stints, as we are coming in for my second prime stint here, my second stop of the race at the end of lap 23. With 32 laps to go, I certainly will have to stretch out my tires here and there in order to make the 3-stop work, but I'm going to try it, and I feel confident that the 3-stopper should be a bit quicker here, and hopefully I can get the jump on So Solid this way, as Dan 27's Massa is running at 4th at the moment, about 27 seconds behind. So at the moment it looks like it's going to be between the 3 of us for the victory. Greek Don't Lie, So Solid, and myself here on a strategic battle, really. And as we approach the start of sector 2 here, I'm about 7 seconds behind the Toro Rosso driver, so I'm not too far behind him, and I will try to make up some ground on my fresh tires as we skip ahead 4 laps later, and it seems that I have some really good pace going on here, and I'm already within the 1 second DRS window here of the Toro Rosso driver, so it seems that I'm catching up with him. And as we are going to cross the finish line here, we have completed 28 laps, so we are a bit past the halfway point of the race, and you can see we are both moving up a place as Greek Don't Lie is going in for his second stop of the race, and I will surely get the DRS on So Solid this lap, so I might just go and take the lead here. And yes, I do get the inside of him. He just brakes a bit later than me, but I can quite easily take the place here and move ahead of So Solid, as he is on much worn tires. I should be able to pull away from him, as Greek Don't Lie is about 5 seconds behind us, so he's not too far behind, and he of course is going to be on the much fresher tires. And as we skip ahead to lap 34, you can see that Greek Don't Lie is in the DRS zone, and he will get the DRS on me. This lap I'm just defending off at the hairpin there, but he's right on the back of me, maybe trying to move around the outside. I'm just sticking to the inside line here as we are coming up to the start of sector 2. It is hairpin. I'm just placing my car on the racing line here on the apex there, so he doesn't have a chance to get past, and it's really important to hold the Sauber driver back for now, as he is just on much fresher tires at the moment. But skipping ahead to the following lap, you can see I'm not able to keep the Sauber driver behind me anymore, and he is taking the lead here. And as we move on to lap 39, you can obviously see my tires are going to get to their end of their life a bit, and Greek Don't Lie actually pulled away fairly quickly here. He's about 6 seconds up the road in just a few laps, and So Solid meanwhile is about 6 seconds behind me. So we are still ahead of the Toro Rosso driver, and we are looking good for second place at the moment, as I'm coming in for my third and hopefully my final stop of this race. Again, the prime tires are coming off, and some new fresh primes coming on. I'm coming out of the pits in P3, as So Solid just jumped me in the pits there. But as we skip ahead to the end of lap 44, you can see that I'm back into second place, and it seems that the Toro Rosso driver has fallen back a little bit there. I'm not sure what happened to So Solid, but it seems that Greek Don't Lie is making his final stop right now, and it will be interesting to see if he's coming out behind me or ahead of me. He's just coming out behind me there, about 2 seconds I'd say. And as we skip ahead to the following lap, you can see that he's already catching up on his fresh options.
Looks like there's a problem with KERS. The guys are working on a fix.
As I get a radio message that I did not want to hear at this stage of the race. It appears that I have a KERS problem, and that will definitely hinder my chances for the victory here, as it will pretty much leave me defenseless to the Sauber driver behind me, who is on much fresher and quicker tires. And as we skip ahead to the following lap, the start of lap 47, you can see that I have no KERS coming out of turn 2 here, as we are coming up to the very long straight. It's Greek Don't Lie who can use his KERS and the DRS of course to easily fly past here and take the lead of this race, and he is looking strong and looking good for the win here. And it appeared that as we are skipping ahead to lap 53 here, that it appears that I did drop back to the Sauber driver massively. I'm 15 seconds behind him now, and he was just flying at the final stint there on his options. And as Woody in third place actually is about 40 seconds behind, you can see me coming in with 2 laps remaining for some option tires, and in one way that was for me a safe way to finish this race, as I was really stretching my tires to make the 3-stop work. And in another way it was for me to try and go for the fastest lap of the race here on the final lap, as you are on board here with me, going to try and set the fastest lap. Yeah, I think this was a really just a consistent race for me. It was a bit of a boring race in terms of battles. As you can see, I did not have many this race, just a couple of moments there with Greek Don't Lie, but most of all this was a strategic race where it seemed that starting on the prime tires for Greek Don't Lie definitely worked out for him, and he was just way too quick at the end of the race for me to challenge him. I did gave him a good fight, I guess, for the first part of the race, so I did enjoy this race. I always enjoy driving here, and it's a good result in the fight for second place in the championship. Of course, I will get 18 points from this race, and my closer rivals Red Saber and So Solid are losing points to me again in this race. So that means we are moving up to second place in the championship now, and I'm looking forward to defend the position in the final races to come. These are the full race results, with Greek Don't Lie taking the victory, myself in second place with the fastest lap of the race. Woody completes the podium, followed by Dan27's Massa, So Solid, TNG Platinum and the Holy Sam. Further down we have Red Saber, Bessa, Tedger, Indrexen and Kex35. Not finishing the race are Dan27, Maz and Gonna Gamble. And after 16 rounds, this is what the Drivers' Championship looks like. As we have come to an end of this round, I want to thank you for watching and see you in India.